Hey everybody, Omar here, your Edge of South Africa guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. And today is the day I am unveiling a couple of Clyde Challenor Vipers. So this video is going to be dedicated to Clyde Challenor and his work. Pretty much a little background on Clyde Challenor, if you're not familiar with who he is. He is a South African knife maker. Excuse me. He's a South African knife maker from Durban, South Africa. He has been making knives for roughly 9 years, and next year, 2024, he'll be at Blade Show. And he is going to be unveiling a brand new knife to celebrate his 10th year as a South African knife maker. He's one of the senior veterans of the craft, as far as I'm concerned. He's pretty much, for the last 10 years, flown under the radar. He's pretty much, for whatever reason, he's underrated. They don't seem to recognize him as much. But here's the good news. A lot of people who buy his knives, they know who he is, they know his work, and they're very, very familiar with who this guy is and the dedication that he has to the craft of knife making. And that's what we're going to get into right now. So a little bit of background on Clyde Challenor before I begin my unveiling here of my two Clyde Challenor Vipers. This one is, of course, my old Viper, which I'm going to reveal in a few minutes. And this one is the new one, which you're going to get midway through the video. So let's just get right into it. So a little quick background on Clyde Challenor. Like I said, he is a knife maker from Durban, South Africa. He's been making knives for roughly about 10 years. He started out collecting knives like myself, and then he decided to make the initial step and go more into making knives. So he started making liner lock knives in his spare time, because he does and still has a full-time job as a machinist. And right now I've got some people walking by here, which is fine. I'm just shooting a knife video, guys, no problem. He started collecting knives like myself, and he decided to go ahead and begin in his spare time, because he's a machinist full-time. At that time, 2014, he decided to attempt to make some liner locks. He made some liner locks. He really liked making knives and creating knives, but I think somewhere inside of him realized, you know what, there's got to be a more efficient way to do this. So he decided to embrace CNC machining, and that is very, very important when understanding the craft of Clyde Challenor's work. He's a guy that wanted to have two philosophies with his knife making. He wanted the fit, finish, and quality to be the best that it could possibly be. And he really believed that with the assistance of CNC machining, he would be able to attain that and cut down on cost of his knives. So obviously there's a give and take, because he would have to spend money to buy the machines to get started. So there would be an investment there. But then at the same time, he realized that in the long run, his time would be cut in half by embracing CNC machining, which would give him the ability to get as tight of tolerances as possible. And that's pretty much where Clyde Challenor is today. So let's quit the yapping and let's get to the knives. I know, Omar, why don't you just shut the hell up and get to the goddamn knives? Gonna get the knives. So this first one is Clyde Challenor's Viper. I got this one in 2021. And this at the time was the very, very first second generation Viper. I'm going to give you guys a good quick look. I don't know if you guys can see this in the light. Oh man, the light isn't that great. I'm kind of hoping you can, because I'm doing it on camera, so I can't really see how great the color is. But this is basically a jet black Viper. So this one got a really cool This knife got a really cool midnight finish on it, and I got this back in 2021, I believe is when I got this. That's when he made this one for me. And at the time that I got this knife, it was a slate gray, and I did a video on that. I'm going to include that video in my link as I'm doing, later on at the end of the video. I'll shoot a link down at the bottom so you guys can check out that video, at least is what this knife used to look like when I originally first got it. So this is the knife. I just want to give you guys a good quick overall look at it. Like I said, it used to be slate gray. We've got the red carbon fiber inlays on it, which are also quite unique because he doesn't do inlays in this shape or manner anymore. I'm the only one that got this Viper with this style of inlay, and this was originally his idea for the second generation Viper. He decided to 86 it. So this is the only one that was produced. The reason that he decided to 86 this red carbon fiber, not red carbon fiber, but this style of inlay where it wraps around the pivot, was because it was way too time consuming for him to do that. Case in point, which is why Clyde Challenor embraces CNC machining. He felt that it was better off to get the basic shape of the scales for the knife, all of that stuff done on CNC machining, and then he can spend most of his time, whatever time is left to keep the cost down, on the hand detail work of the knives. So it was a pretty brilliant stroke on his part to go that route, as opposed to other knife makers who decide to make knives completely by hand, making the tools that make the knives. So he decided to just go with CNC machining. So that being said, he decided to 86 the red carbon fiber in this style and go with the coffin shape, which you're going to see in a minute when I pull out this knife. So yeah, this is a completely one-of-a-kind. So here's the story with this knife very quickly as I move the knife around so you guys can get a better look at it, and then we'll take a look at it, do some size comparisons and all that stuff. So the story behind this knife was, I bought this knife in 2021, got the knife, really, really loved it, really, really enjoyed it. I did something stupid. I accidentally put the knife in my pocket and put the knife in the same pocket as my keys. And then I wound up putting a little scratch on the knife, and it really pissed me off. I got a scratch like right around there. And when that happened, I kind of got pissed off because these knives aren't cheap. They cost a lot of money. And I had a little bad scratch put on the knife, and I contacted Clyde Challenor, and he said, you know what, dude, no problem. When you're ready, just contact me. You can send it in. Your knife has a lifetime warranty. I'll refinish it. It's an easy fix. You can do it for free. Now, despite the fact that Clyde Challenor is a friend of mine, he would do that for any of his customers. All of his knives have a lifetime warranty, so it's kind of important for you guys to understand it. Anyway, I never bothered to send it in. I got lazy, plus I was afraid that the knife would get lost in the shipping. And Clyde will tell you I'm a real asshole when it comes to shipping my knife. I was just hating DHL for putting me through the torture of making me wait for my knife as it was being shipped off to Clyde Challenor, praying to God I'd get it back. And the poor Clyde had to kind of keep me calm and said, look, dude, I work with DHL. I'm a businessman. I would never trust anyone's knife to a shipping company that I don't trust. You know what I mean? He was just trying to be comforting, but you're a knife collector and you're absolutely insane. You can't help it. You're going to be, a dick until you get your knife back. So having that being said, I put it off for about a year. And then the time came, I told Clyde, you know what, I want another Viper, man. Give me another Viper. And he said, okay, yeah, sure. So he came out and said, took my order. And since we're already on the topic of orders, keep in mind, Clyde Challenor's books, I believe they are currently open. They may be closed, I don't know. The reason I say they may be closed because he only takes orders for about 10 people at a time, which is a smart thing to do. But in any case, I got on his books, he made me my Viper, and here we are a year later, as he was working on my new Viper. he contacted me back and said, "Hey, bro, look, listen, I got an idea for your old Viper. I want to try a new process out. I want to see if we can blacken the titanium on it." And I thought, ooh, that sounds cool. So he did it, and then he showed me some pictures and some videos. But the shop that he works at, because he's making knives, the shop light is incredibly bright. So I'm assuming he needs that lighting to do the work on his knives. And it still didn't, it was so bright that I didn't see if it was black or not, and I didn't see it change. Then he went over to a place where the lighting was a little bit more realistic, and you can see from this knife here that it is pretty much jet black. It got this really beautiful midnight finish look on it. The knife also has a Damascus blade on it, so that's how this knife came to be. Really, really nice looking. Love it. One of the things I love about Clyde Chalonor's knives, there's quite a few things I love about this guy's work. As far as the build, and I'll get into my new knife in a minute, but there's so much to cover. I'm trying to stay organized in my head as I do this video. But one of the things that I love about Clyde Chalonor's knives is they are so well done. The fit, finish, the quality, it's there, man. He has just got it. The action is tuned in perfectly. So super smooth. This is a front flipper, in case you guys aren't aware of that. I also love the complete and total open construction. Will you take a look at that shit? Look at that. There's only two things putting this knife together. We have the standoff and the pivot, and that's it. So it's simple take apart. I did a video on this knife on how this knife comes apart. It's real simple. People are wondering, well, how the hell do you take it apart with these flat, super smooth pivot screws and standoff screws? Real simple. All you do is you just unscrew these two here, right? And then these two screws will pop out, and then you can clean your knife. So putting it together and taking it apart is that simple. As beautiful as Clyde Chalonor's knives are, he wants you to be able to take his knives apart and maintain them and clean them and not have any problems with that. So the reason his knives are so well built, and I've said this before, is because his tolerances are so tight. One of his biggest inspirations when creating knives, I'm going to guess because he's talked about them a couple of times when we were conversing and chatting up. One of the guys that really influences him and his work, let me take these out of the way. Like I said, we're going to get to this knife in a second. One of the guys that really influences his work is also one of my favorite knife makers, the guy right here on the mat, Chris Reeve. As you guys can see, there's a lot of similarities between Chris Reeve and Clyde Challenor. They both have that totally open construction. The only difference is, and they both have incredibly tight tolerances. The only difference is Chris Reeve doesn't believe in ball bearings. So Clyde Challenor went that extra step. Wouldn't it be nice to see a knife with just as tight of a tolerance as a Chris Reeve knife, but put on ball bearings? And so he came out with the Viper, and he kind of used that as sort of a stepping stone for creating all of his knives in the future. The other thing that was really absolutely fantastic about Clyde Chalonor's work is the ergonomics on this thing. Again, there's a similarity between him and Chris Reeve when it comes to the ergonomics. Their knives, particularly the Inkosi, not the Sabenza 21, but this knife here, the Chris Reeve Inkosi, as you can see, we've got the two finger grooves here. The ergonomics, and of course they're rounded. See how they have like this little indentation here in the knife? They're rounded there. They basically melt into your hand in this position. However, I'm going to have to say that the Clyde Challenor Viper is even more ergonomic than the Chris Reeve Inkosi. Your hand hand just knows exactly where to go to use this. Because keep in mind, as beautiful as this custom knife is, this is still a tool. You're going to be using this on a daily basis. You're going to want to be able to have good grip, good tight grip on it for whatever heavy use you need to do on it. And his knives have just that fantastic feel to it that your hand just basically instinctively knows where to go when you put this in your hand. Not like some other custom knives that get maybe caught up in the aesthetics, or they get caught up in something else, and you lose the sort of tool aspect of your knife. And that's one of the things that I also love about Clyde Challenor. He has the ability to meld aesthetics and tolerances and the actual idea that this is a tool. He's able to do that 50-50 so that the knife is as perfect as it can be. It looks good, it feels good, it cuts well, it's got fantastic ergonomics. You get the entire package with this guy's work. So that's pretty much what it means to own a Clyde Challenor custom. So now, enough of my yapping. I know everybody's excited to see my new unveiling of my new custom, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that. So as you guys can see real quickly, he did do a midnight finish on the old one. Now I'm going to bring out the new one and let you guys take a look at it. I'm going to just leave this in its case, kind of just well open, because I'm probably going to refer to it again later. So maybe I can do that. And of course, I forgot to mention with Clyde Challenor, and of course I'll do it in the other one anyway. You can see here, because I didn't really do an unboxing, did I? But you can see here, this is his certificate of authenticity. Viper. This one was done for 2021. It's weird how he does the birth. He does the month, the day, and then the year, which I think is kind of weird, but I guess that's the way they do it down there in South Africa. Damas steel blade, titanium, red fat carbon fiber. There's a signature right there, which I find kind of funny because he just kind of squiggled it. That's another thing that Clyde Challenor has. He's got just a really sick sense of humor, and that's one of the reasons why we're friends. Kind of cool. I don't know what else you would do with it, but what else is cool is you get a cool little sticker, too. I like the sticker. I like these little knick-knack things he pops in there. And something tells me he knows that people like that, so they included. Well, ever going to use the sticker? Probably not. But it's part of the package, and it just kind of makes it overall nice. And believe it or not, because this isn't, a Clyde Challenor package, if I were to actually lose it, I'd cry. I'd probably have to just ask him to, ship me a new sticker, and he'd probably just tell me only if you buy another knife. But in any case, and I'd be dumb enough to do that anyway. So this is the black one that I got, refinished, redone, all in a beautiful glory. With the part of where I screwed up the knife with my keys here, he cleaned it all up and then darkened the titanium. How awesome is that? Hey guys, just doing a little knife video here. No problem, keep walking. It's nice to have the atmosphere of people walking by as you're doing a knife video. No problem, I have no problem with that. But in any case, this is my new Viper. I keep forgetting there's people walking by here, and I have to be aware of that. And that's pretty cool. I like that. The natural element of people enjoying the day. It is 4th of July weekend, by the way, so they have every right to be here like me. I kind of wish I was eating something also, but I can't. I'm doing a video. So, that being said, I hope I'm not talking too loud because I know they have their own conversations over there. That being said, I know you guys want to see the unveiling, so let's do the unveiling. This is the second Viper, and I think you guys are going to be surprised by what he did to this one, because it is absolutely insane. There's another story behind this one, which is why this video is going to be long. Now, the original configuration of this video, of this particular knife, is not what it is, but let me just get into the story later and just show you the knife and talk about it real fast. So here we go. Let me put this one over here. I forgot to mention that Clyde Challenor's cases, his packaging for his knives, keep in mind, guys, this stuff costs money, and his packaging is really very nice. The CCC, I forgot to mention, stands for Clyde Challenor Customs. Used to be Clyde Challenor, CCCK for Clyde Challenor Custom Knives, and he has 86th decay at the end of it, because it actually looks better with just Clyde Challenor Customs. But in any case, this is the new knife. Same model, different version. Again, with customs, you know, you can get the same exact model in a different variation. And in this case, both these knives are completely one-of-a-kind handmade knives. These are both one-offs. You will never see another like either one of these ever again. So if you look closely at this new Viper here, it's got blue carbon fiber inlays on both sides of the knife. I forgot to mention that also. Clyde Challenor was one of the very first knife makers, and I remember this because if you go on YouTube, you can check out an early video of him back in 2017 where he was just starting out, getting his name out there as a knife maker. The video on there stated that I believe he was being interviewed by House of Knives or House of Blades? And they were talking about how a lot of frame-lock knife makers don't put the inlays on both sides of the knife, and he was the first one to actually do that. Or at least, maybe he's not the first one to do that, but he was definitely the first one to promote that idea. And now there are a couple of other knife makers that have adapted that. But he was the first one on camera to at least talk about it in that sense, to have the inlays on the front and on the back. Because with the frame lock knife, you know, you're getting very little aesthetics, which is why all of the aesthetics. Thank you. I got my good buddy Josh online, House of Wisdom. Cool. Thanks a lot, buddy. So, yeah, he was. So anyway, now I lost my train of thought. You know, you're working with a frame lock knife. So frame locks, you can only do so much aesthetically, but he thought it was important to at least put the inlay on the back of the knife. So now, back to the knife. If we take a look at the knife, take a look at what's missing, guys. Because if you don't see it, you're blind. Check that out. Okay. The pivots have been ghosted. It's called Ghost Pivot. And that's actually what it says. That's actually all this moving around and stuff. I'm having problems. But that's actually what it says on the card of the certificate of authenticity. The Ghost Pivot look on there. As you guys can see, Ghost Pivots. This is, again, a one-of-a-kind. And these one-of-a-kind things that he does on my knives will never be repeated ever again. He's never going to do this again with any other knife. That I know of. But, I mean... And, you know, that might be another topic for another video, which is a one-of-a-kind. But he made this Viper specifically for me as a one-of-a-kind handmade piece, and he's never going to do it again. But even if the pivots were there, okay, let's say even if the pivots were not gone, this knife would still be a one-of-a-kind. Why? For the main reason that every carbon fiber inlay that he gets has a different design on it, and he has to cut that out, and every cutout of these inlays that he creates has a different pattern on it. So as far as I understand it, and I'm sure Clyde Challenor is going to correct me if I'm wrong, even the inlay, every inlay that he cuts has got a different pattern on it, so that makes it a one-of-a-kind handmade blade. In itself. So if we look at both knives, you can see the difference in color. I mean, the lighting here, I'm not sure because I can't really tell, but I just kind of figured it's nice and sunny. So maybe on camera you guys can see. This is clearly a slate gray, which is the original color that my old Viper was. And it's now jet black. And while I have both of them up, you can see the difference in the inlays. This one has got more of a wrap around the pivot look, and this one has got more of a coffin-shaped look on it. So it's they're two totally different, completely different one-of-a-kinds. And of course, the fact that this one has a Damascus blade and this one has M390 on it makes it a different look overall. Yeah. So a little thing that's a little bit weird is that I got this knife because this is supposed to be my user piece. Yeah, right. This is supposed to be the knife that I'm going to use and beat up and enjoy, which I know Clyde Challenor would love if I were to do that, but it's such a beautiful knife. I don't know if I have the stomach to do that, but that's what he wants people to do with all of his knives, is he wants them to use the knives that he makes. That's why he's into this. I mean, yeah, they're really aesthetic and pretty, but I don't make knives so that you can use them as safe queens, and I hear you, bro, and I'm sure all of his customers hears them. And actually, he has a point. If you go on, and if Rayvon is still online watching, there is a video. I don't know if you guys seen this, but this was like way back, like about 5 years ago. Thank you. He also has a lifetime warranty. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video. Thanks, Rayvon, for giving me that right there. It's my buddy Josh. I'm not going to say his last name, but that's my buddy Josh. He's kind of helping me out on this video, so that's kind of good. But yeah, there's a video of a guy back, I believe it was like, is it 2015 or 2014? I can't remember. Maybe Rayvon can dig out that video for me. It's called Adventure Camping or something like that. And the guy took an early version of Clyde Challenor's Raptor. It's kind of important for me to mention. He took one of Clyde Challenor's Raptor, which I actually own and Rayvon owns. It's like a 4-inch big freaking sucker that both of us also have as a safe queen piece. Safe queen again. I want to make sure you guys see both knives, so it's just kind of, the angle is crappy, but that's okay. I'll do it the way I want to. There you go. What if I got the cases out? Would that help? You know, I'm just kind of afraid to put the cases away. How about that? You guys just get a shot of the knives here. So in any case, as I'm talking and trying to rearrange myself here, he took one of Clyde Challenor's Raptors and he went into the woods and he really beat the shit out of this knife. I mean, he was taking like, I believe he was taking like a hammer and pounding down on the knife with the Raptor, and beat it all to hell. And it even broke the tell me if I'm wrong or not, Rayvon. He broke the tip of the knife off at the end of the video. I don't know how long the video was. I think it was like 25 minutes or a half hour. Definitely not as long as my video is running right now. But he stood there with this beat up Clyde Challenor Raptor. And he stood there and he went like this, checked the blade play on it. You know what I mean? Showed how that the knife was cut from the tip of the blade, like up here. Yeah, he broke the tip. And then he stood there and he sat on a log and he said, would I pay, I think he said something like $12.50 or whatever it was for that knife. Would I pay $1,250 for that knife after what it's been through? And he said, yes. Yes, I would. He said, and his reasoning was this: what you just saw me do in this video is not something you would normally do to a knife. But it's nice that you can do that to the knife if you had to take it out for survival purposes. But think about it this way, I guess was his point. You use a Clyde Challenor knife day after day after day under normal use, and it will survive. And you probably more than likely won't even break the tip, but there'll be no blade play, there'll be no, no off-centering, which I didn't really even touch up on. Freaking take a look at that centering. That is beautiful. As a knife collector, guys, that is the biggest thing that bothers me. I'm so happy that I have a place like the Blade Gallery to go to purchase knives, because as soon as I see that blade's off-center, I don't buy it. I don't even care who makes the knife. So and this is a message for Andre Thorburn, Erucus Blamaris, any other South African knife maker that I am aware of, if the knife is off-centered, I won't buy it. It'll just sit there in its case and I will bypass you. The reason Clyde Challenor is as anal as me, the guy used to collect knives and he knows exactly what bothers people about custom knives and custom knife making. He has his own feelings about knife making in general and the cost of knives and so on and so forth. We had a discussion once on on like tolerances and how important they are. You know, it was just a conversation that we had, and it was his opinion that that's a lot of why knives fall shut, and in his own opinion, they shouldn't be falling shut. But in any case, I'm going to put one of the Vipers away because I didn't do any size comparisons for this. So I just want to go ahead and do the size comparisons. I'm going to use the new Viper so you guys can get a good shot of that one. So let me just put one of these knives away. So kind of forgive me if I'm just going to put one of these knives away. I have to try to get organized. So I'm going to put this one away. And we're going to do some size comparisons. I actually have several knives that I can show you the size of it, because I forgot to get into that topic. One of the great things about Clyde Chalonor's knives in general, again, I only touched up on it in the first half hour that I was doing this video, but it's sorry about my hand being in the way here, but it is let's kind of get this out of the way here. It's the slimness that you get in a package. This is a full-size knife. If you were looking at this on camera, you're probably thinking, oh, that blade is only 3.1, 3.2. It's not. You're getting a full-size 3.5-inch blade on this thing. And he got rid of all the bulk on this knife. There's nothing, you know what I mean? There's no, like, extra bulk on the knife that you get with other knives. But just so you guys can see, I'm going to pull out some knives you guys might be familiar with for size comparisons. And then I'm going to end the size comparison with what I do all the time, which is small, medium, and large. So as you guys can see, I'm going to put it up against the ZT 0562 Custom. And if my buddy Josh is on, I'm going to be texting you later about this knife because I want to do something here on this knife with you. And I've just made, this is a decision that I made, but we'll talk later about this knife. Anyway, as you guys can see, this knife, I hope this gives you a good angle at it. If not, I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to go maybe move the camera over to the top so you guys can see it a little bit better. I kind of hope that it doesn't get in the way. But as you guys, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm standing up. So as you guys can see, they're exactly the same size. But take a look at the design of the knife. We've got the Hinderer 0562 collaboration with Zero Tolerance. Look at all the bulk that's on the knife. Now this has pretty good ergonomics, the Hinderer, but the ergonomics on this knife, the Clyde Challenor Viper, it melts in your hand. Melts in your hand. This one, as comfortable as it is, it's pretty good, but I mean, it doesn't even compare. But take a look. Like I said, they're exactly the same size, and Clyde Challenor got rid of all the bulk. So now I'm going to move this back to the standing position. And I'm probably going to stand up for a while as I do more size comparisons. So let me put that one away. And, well, maybe you guys can tell if I sit down a little bit. It's just the angle that I'm at. It's kind of hard to tell. So that's the... yeah, that's the 0562. Another knife I want to put it up against, small knife, and this one you guys are familiar with. This is the Spyderco Techno. So yeah, so you can tell from this angle that it's a smaller knife. Spyderco Techno. And then, let's see, what else? Something familiar, trying to find, here we go. This one's good. Here's another one. One of my all-time favorites, the Benchmade Anthem. Again, same exact size, right? And he got rid of all, you can probably tell from this angle, but yeah, he got rid of all the bulk again, you know, and this one's ergonomically fit to fit in your hand. And then I got another one here that I know I want to do it on, because that one's a new one. I hope I brought it with me. Take a look here. Oh, I'm going gonna guess. Give me a second here. I'm digging through. Aha! Here we go. This is it. This is the perfect way to end this part of the video here. Let me get rid of the anthem. How about the Spyderco Sage 5? I just bought this one. This is the Spyderco Sage 5. So this is how I like to end my size comparison. We have large. We got large. You know what? I got so many things in my way here. I want you guys to see the camera angle there. Yeah, so we have large, medium, and then small. So there's your size comparison. So you can see that the Viper falls in the large category, even though you think it's a medium-sized knife. And that's really much the mystery behind Clyde Challenor's knives. There's always going to be something cool, something awesome aesthetically about the knife that's hidden, that you have to find and discover on all of his knives. He is just that way. It's pretty much how I got my Viper. It's pretty much how I got my first Viper blackened out. That's the way that he does his one-of-a-kind inspirations. You know, like I said, I'm pretty much just become like a guinea pig for anything he wants to do on my knife. And, you know, whenever he does something like that, I'll just say yes. Even if he were to charge me. Now, that's another thing. We're friends, so I got the friend price on the black titanium. And I know for a fact that if he had done this to another customer, he probably would have charged them, but we're friends, so he didn't charge me. So I got really, really lucky in that aspect, and I really, really do appreciate it. He's just an awesome, awesome guy overall. So this is it for this video. I hope it didn't run that long. I really can't think of too many things to do. I brought more knives with me to size comparison, but you guys get the idea of what these particular, you know, what the size of the knife currently is. You know, so there's no reason to, you know, there's no reason to continue with the size comparisons, especially since you guys know, you know, the medium, small, large category. Final thoughts on Clyde Challener. His knives are worth it. In a sense that, and I highly recommend Clyde Challeor as your very first custom piece. If you're looking to get into a custom knife, I would definitely consider Clyde Challeor as your first custom, if that's the route that you want to go. Number one, the reason, yeah, I know I can't do anything about the train. It comes by. I don't know how often the train goes by, but it does go by quite often. But I mean, yeah, I highly recommend Clyde Challeor as your first custom. If you are a production knife collector and you're on the edge as far as what knife can I get as my very first custom, go with Clyde Challeor. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one, as a tool, you're never going to be disappointed. Sorry, I'm just going to put my other stuff away. As a tool, you're never going to be disappointed. Yeah, as a tool, you'll never be disappointed, and aesthetically, the knife looks fantastic. Plus, on another note and on another scale, Clyde Challenor's knives, they don't cost all that much in the long run, and I'll tell you why. Number one, he takes 10 orders at a time. That's number one. Number two, his investment in CNC machining is pretty much paid for itself at this point in time. He's been making knives for roughly 10 years, so the cost of his knives have now kind of paid off. He can now price his knives at a particular price level, where the only thing that's going to go up is if you want something on the knife aesthetically. Otherwise, to get one of these Vipers in a plain Jane version, meaning just a plain slate gray, actually, let me just pull this over here, A plain slate gray like this knife here, of course, with the pivots. That will cost you about $750, and it is freaking worth it. And you're not, I mean, you're getting, with just the basic only, you're still getting the aesthetics of the ergonomics being as perfect as they are, right, for $750. You're getting the beautiful aesthetics of the silver pivots. No inlays, obviously, but you're getting really high quality. I forgot to mention Clyde Challenor. His knives, they run on ceramic ball bearings, so you get that really cool, I'm always afraid I'm going to scratch it, you know, that cool smoothness, ball shut. And these are, you know, this is the way the tolerance are supposed to be on a knife, where you can feel that it's smooth, but it shouldn't fall shut. That's Clyde Challenor's philosophy. But if you want a fall shut knife, go to another knife maker, because Clyde Challenor, his philosophy as far as the operation of a tool, the tolerances have to be as tight as they can be. And he doesn't want to ever stray from that, because that's very, very much a part of his knife philosophy. So if you're buying a Clyde Challenor knife, you're buying into the philosophy of tight tolerances. The same exact philosophy as Chris Reeve, which is what he has in common. And he constantly talks about Chris Reeve knives having really tight tolerances. And as I said earlier in the video, that became the basis for his philosophy. So it's tight tolerances. He began to realize very early on in his knife making that you got to have those tight tolerances. You don't have those tight tolerances, you don't have a perfect tool to work with, no matter what the hell the aesthetics look like, whether they have beautiful red carbon fiber inlays, blue inlays, black inlays, whatever, we don't care. The tool has to be as operational as it is aesthetically beautiful. So that is it for this video. I said it was going to be 45 minutes long. I think I'm going just on that. I'm going to use the last 4 minutes to tell you guys, as I put my stuff away, what I have going on in the new, in my new video coming up. I've got some prototypes coming in August from another knife maker that I am currently promoting. I'm probably going to have a chat with them this 4th of July weekend. We're going to talk about where he is with those prototypes, and of course if he needs any help promoting, I'll be there for him. I just kind of want to put my knives away, because you know how it is. You have a knife collection, you kind of want to be like super careful with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my toys away as I close this video out. So I'll be in conversation with Henny Duplessis regarding those two, and again the train's gone by, regarding those two prototypes that he's going to be sending me to review. But in the meantime, guess what, guys? I got another video that I'm going to be doing next week, and that one is going to be on the Yojimbo 2, which is a knife by Spyderco employee and tactical defense guy, who's also all of a sudden I can't remember why, I can't even think. Michael Chanish, who is also founder of Martial Blade Craft, used to be called Martial Blade Craft, now Martial Blade Concepts. He came out, of course, with the Yojimbo 2, which is now an iconic knife and definitely a permanent part of Spyderco's lineup, because Michael Chanish is still an employee there at Spyderco, so that's kind of cool. So I got that knife coming soon, along with the prototypes. Other than that, I've got other videos that I'll be talking about in a little bit, and yeah, that's basically it. You guys enjoy your 4th of July weekend. I hope this video was, you know, you found quite interesting. I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed promoting my good friend Clyde Challenor's work. These videos are unscripted. It's just the way that I go. You know what I mean? I tried doing it scripted, and it doesn't seem to work out as well. But in any case, I'm going to just close out by opening my Chris Reeve and Cosi. Highly recommend this piece to a lot of you guys, but unfortunately, if you're planning on getting a Chris Reeve knife, you're not going to get one anytime in the near future. You can certainly order one. I ordered a Sabenza 31, and I ordered two Sabenza 31s. Actually, I ordered a large and a small. But if you take a look at its lead times, it's anywhere between 6 to 4 years. So nobody is getting a Chris Reeve knife anywhere soon. So basically what I'm saying is I ordered a Sabenza 31. I'm probably going to cancel that order. If I really want to get a Sabenza 31, I can go to the Blade Gallery or go to one of their dealers and just cancel my order with Chris Reeve knives. It's very unfortunate. You know, I don't agree with it, but that's what they're doing. Anyway, that's it for me on this video. I will see you in the next video when we do the Yo Jumbo 2 next week. And Josh, my buddy, if you're there watching, I'm going to be in my car. I want to talk to you about that ZT because I want to cut in on a deal with you. And, you know, so I'll talk to you later in a few minutes. I'll be in my car. I will be, if it's okay, and give a thumbs up if you want to do this, because you really should. It's important. How about we do a quick video chat, guy? Can you give me a thumbs up there? If you're still there. Okay, if not, I'm going to try and call you on your phone. I really want you to get in on this deal, because I don't think you're going to want to pass it up. So that's it for me on this video, talking about Clyde Challenor knives over here on 4th of July weekend. I am, in case you guys didn't know, I'm at the Ruston Way waterfront. This is just a beautiful place. The sun is out. It's really gorgeous. We've got a train going by and motorists going by enjoying the weekend. There's joggers. There's really beautiful women walking by every once in a while jogging. So it is just a fantastic day here. I am about ready to take off and see, I'm going to go see Indiana Jones 5. Dial of Destiny, so I really can't wait to see that. So I'll be sitting in a movie theater all by my lonesome. That's how I like to watch movies, with a bag of popcorn. So I'll see you guys later in my next video. Remember, Yo Jumbo 2 coming probably the weekend of, I'm gonna say, like right around July 9 or July 10, somewhere in there. First week of July. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. You guys have a great day. I know I am. I got a 4-day weekend. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I would love to have more comments on it as I go. So whoever the second person is that's watching the video, hope you watch again. Maybe leave me some comments, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day.